All right, good morning, one and all. And as promised, another prospect profile, courtesy of HockeyProspect.com and their wonderful black book, which provided all of the notes on the board. There are a lot of notes on Alex Turcotte. A lot. There's no way I could have got it all on the board. The interesting thing with Turcotte is different scouts seem to have him in a different place. And this is why this draft is going to be very unpredictable. That being said, Turcotte is projected to go at 4. That would be Colorado. Be a good addition for Colorado, to be honest. His hockey sense is a 9. Compete level is an 8. Skill is a 7. Skating is an 8. So overall, pretty darn solid player. He put up a great performance at the Under-18 Five Nations tournament. And he was already on the map for these guys before that took place, but it certainly didn't hurt. He is playing for the University of Wisconsin 2019 and 2020. So it's likely if you draft Turcotte that you're looking at probably 2 years before he signs his NHL contract and he's good to go. I don't think that's going to hurt his draft standing in the slightest. One of the smartest players in the draft, and he's seen as a safe pick. So we need a center. The safe pick is Turcotte. He is not seen as high end as Jack Hughes, but he is projected ahead of the other forwards who played on that team. The U.S. National Development Team program has been just fantastic. Strong puck management and strong awareness. So again, this is like what I talked about yesterday with Bo and Byram, just making smart decisions with the puck, knowing where everybody is on the ice, both your teammates and your opponents. And he's very good at all of that. High-end playmaker with a good shot. So to me, the picture that emerges from this, I don't like using NHL projections and that kind of thing, but it kind of sounds like a Krejci with the playmaking, the good shot, the puck management, and all of that. Krejci's a pretty good player that way. And he's been in their top 5 all year. And he is definitely a player who projects to be a high-end NHLer. Top 6. What they're saying. Top 6 forward, almost guaranteed. And one of the notes, and again, I didn't have room on the board for all of it, so I was like, are you just going to remember some stuff, Shannon? One of the notes said he has a very high ceiling and basement, meaning that even if he's a bust, he still projects as an NHL player. And that's important. Again, that comes down to that whole him being a safe pick, right? Where a team might say, all right, well, we want to make sure this guy's going to make it. We'll take Turcotte because even at his worst, he's an NHL player. NHL Scout in January of 2019 made a statement that I thought was really important with this draft class. I changed my mind on Zegras, Boldy, and Turcotte all the time. They are really close. I'll be trying to sort these 3 out in the second half, meaning the second half of their season. And scouts may very well have guys in different orders. Teams right now who have their draft list ready may very well have Turcotte at 7th. Maybe they have him at 6th. Maybe they have him at 3rd. Depends where you're drafting and it depends what you want. Turcotte, Boldy, Zegras. There's a lot of these guys who are pretty close. Doc comes to mind as well. NHL Scout April 2019. I think he's one of the most complete players in this draft and would have been in several other drafts as well. One thing that I've heard about the 2019 draft is, well, it's not very good. But Turcotte, with his compete level, his intelligence, and his skating, and all of these things put together, he projects as being a pretty solid player and would have in almost any draft. So even the really deep drafts, Turcotte very well might have been a first rounder. I'm not going to get into which draft and where he would have been drafted. That's for somebody else to talk about. But yeah, he is a very solid player, very solid prospect overall. He was ill during the Under-18 tournament, still played well at it. And that says a lot. So when he was projected lower, it may very well have been illness that was playing a role in that. He's been picking up a lot of steam as the season's gone along. He projects as a two-way center to match up against other teams' top lines. And of course, when you hear that, you think Jonathan Toews. You think about Patrice Bergeron. So whether he ends up being in that same area or what he ends up doing as a player, he definitely has it. Now, the one thing I didn't write down and should have, and I'm going to go grab that. He is 5'11", 189 pounds. So since he's under 6 feet, we can just immediately compare him to Patrick Kane. I'm just kidding. But he does project to be a very strong NHL player. Pretty solid draft pick. So whoever gets him if he goes at 4, that's Colorado, who are saying we'll take Turcotte, and if he's available at 4, it would mean Chicago passed on Byram. The overall numbers, it makes sense to me why there are a lot of Chicago Blackhawk fans right now that are saying we should draft Turcotte. We don't need Byram because we don't need a defenseman. But between Turcotte and Byram, I think they're both pretty much guaranteed NHLers. It's a matter of which one's going to end up being an elite level player. And that's the one thing I've seen on all the notes on Turcotte is that he may be a good NHLer. He doesn't project to be a superstar, but we've seen these guys prove scouts wrong before when it comes to becoming that superstar. One of the notes, too, that was on there was that he was one of the best interviews of the year. And I've mentioned before how well a player interviews at these things when they talk to teams, scouts, and all that. It really makes a difference. Where they can come back and they can say, here's all the numbers. And by the way, he's a really mature kid and he knows what he's going to have to do to reach the NHL. That's important. That it's not just, yeah, he's a really talented kid. He's putting up 50 goals in the queue this year. He's also a giant douchebag and talks to everybody like they're beneath him. But we're pretty sure we can coach him. Now, I'll take the safe pick. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. And this is a Texas Stars jersey. For those wondering, this is Dallas's farm team. So just wearing it just for prospect video and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.